Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice Radio. So today, we're going to be looking at another Naganadel deck. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You see, we have been looking at Naganadel a bit lately, and we've already seen how Naganadel is really good with Blacephalon, and we've already seen it be good with Tapu Koko. And we've seen it be good with, even the Turtonator from Dragon Majesty, but also Suicune GX and Naganadel, by which I mean Quagsire. We're talking about Naganadel. It's kind of over the top good. And now we've got another deck, which has gone and won a tournament in Japan, playing Naganadel, but this time, it's Shining Genesect. That card that was only supposed to be good with Venusaur is actually coming around and it's gone, Venusaur, yeah, I tried that, but it didn't actually work so well. It was an occasional success at best. So I'm back and I've got my new mate Naganadel, and actually, I think this one might be sticking. So, we start off with Naganadel, and it's the same Naganadel we've been playing all the way along. It's got the amazing ability whereby once during your turn, you may take a basic energy from your discard pile and attach it to Naganadel. It's the same one we've been using all along, and it's absolutely great. Fair dues. But this time, we're playing it with Shining Genesect. And like I say, with Venusaur, this was supposed to be good. This was the deck that came out of Shining Legends, and we did see it cut occasionally, and then it just kind of went away forever. It's not been good for a long time. But there's two things that we like very much indeed about Shining Genesect. Firstly, we've got the ability Energy Reload. Once during your turn before you attack, you may move a grass energy from one of your other Pokemon to this Pokemon. And I'm hoping at this stage you can see where we're going with this. You put the energy on Naganadel using the ability, then you move it over to Shining Genesect, just like we would see Quagsire move the energy over to your active Pokemon. Or just like we would see Tapu Koko move the energy over when you benched a Tapu Koko. Except we're moving it over to Shining Genesect. And then you've got the attack Gaia Blaster. 50 damage plus 20 more for each grass energy attached to this Pokemon. Now, the issue here is that you can only move one energy per Genesect per turn. This isn't Quagsire, where as often as you like during your turn, you can move a water energy from your bench to your active. And it's not Tapu Koko, where you put it down and then move as many energy over as you like. This is once during your turn, you may move a grass energy from one of your other Pokemon to Shining Genesect. Now, that's not to say this can't work. And one of the great things about Shining Genesect is that you can do it when it's on the bench. So essentially, we run into a bench issue here. And that's my biggest issue with this Shining Genesect deck. It's a bench issue. Because ideally, what you really want here is free Shining Genesect and free Naganadel. And every turn, you use Naganadel's ability, and then you move it over to Shining Genesect. Free Naganadel abilities, free Genesect, and every turn, each Genesect gets one more energy. Because we run into slight consistency concerns here. Because you need free energy on a Genesect. And if you can have a Genesect sitting on the bench for 3 turns, it's going to get the energy lovely. And if you have 2 Genesects sitting on the bench for 3 turns, they're both going to get the energy lovely. But what about the first one? You can attach one from your hand and move one over. It's really that third energy that's an issue. And look, you're going to be okay if you can get one extra attachment. You move an energy over using the ability, you attach from your hand, it's the third one that's an issue. But taking all that aside, you're then hitting 110 damage for free energy. It's a one-hit KO on stuff that's weak, like Lycanroc for instance, And you will need a 4th energy to get some of the big non-GXs. So something like a non-GX Buzzwole, something like a Shining Lugia, you'll actually need another 20 damage here. You'll need a 4th energy. But against GXs, you're generally 2-hit KOing, and you've got 130 HP, which is quite good. And at best, they're 1-hit KOing for 1 prize, while you're 2-hit KOing for 2, but they're not always going to 1-hit KO. Now, there are a couple of other Pokemon here. There is a Shuckle. It's the same one we always play in decks like this. The ability says that when you put it onto the bench, you can search your deck for 3 basic energy and discard them. Well, that gets them in the discard for Naganadel. We're good to go here. There's one Marshadow, and Marshadow here is really just a little bit of disruption. You put it on the bench and both players shuffle their hand into their deck and draw 4 cards. Because if you're against a Blacephalon deck and you let them have 2 B-String, they will probably win the game. If you're against a Metagross deck and they use their GX attack and you don't disrupt them, they'll probably win the game. So what you do here is you play a copy of Marshadow for those turns where you know your opponent's got a sick hand and you've got to get rid of it. We see one Tapu Lele just to search for your supporters and give yourself a little bit of extra consistency. And then we see one non-GX Buzzwole. Why do we see one non-GX Buzzwole? It's a really good single energy attacker. It hits 120 for a single energy if your opponent's got 4 prizes remaining. And you're only playing 1 GX here, and you're hopefully never using it, so your opponent will have to have a turn where they've got 4 prizes remaining. And that's when you bring in Buzzwole. We're even playing a couple of basic fighting energy here, so that you can actually take advantage of this. Plus it hits weakness on Zoroark, and Zoroark's still a well good Pokemon. So, the energy here, mostly grass, with a couple fighting for Buzzwole, and then you're using your Beast Energy, because remember, you can attack with Naganadel, and Beast Energy makes a huge difference here. Naganedel's attack does 80 for free energy, but 160 if you have exactly 3 prize cards remaining, which will often fall short against something like a Rayquaza. So the Beast Energy helps you get the KO here. Or against a Buzzwole GX, if you don't have 3 prizes remaining, you do 160, Beast Energy comes in and frankly fills the gap here. It's pretty good. Now, in terms of the rest of the deck, there's a few extra cards that we don't necessarily see in every deck. We do see 4 copies of Wishful Baton. Yeah. This is what I was saying about the fact that, generally speaking, you can get 2 energy on a Genesect in 1 turn, but not a 3rd. This says that if your active Pokemon has this attached and gets KO'd, then you can take 3 energy and move it to a bench Pokemon. And then you use the ability for Shining Genesect, then you attach from your hand. Oh look, now you've got 5 energy on, that's a bit better. Although because you're relying on Wishful Baton, you're not actually playing Choice Band here. We see Shrine of Punishment because it's a non-GX deck and you want to get extra damage on the field. And we see a couple copies of Energy Switch. As I keep saying, ladies and gentlemen, you need that 3rd energy. Energy Switch is great here. You get 2 energy onto Naganadel using the ability. You use Genesect's ability to get 1 energy. Energy Switch to get a 2nd. Attach to get the 3rd, and you're off. Or maybe you just use this in the mid-game to get 1 extra energy on so that you can smash. And there's the card that we see in a lot of Japanese decks, which is one of the really, really underrated cards from Lost Thunder. Seriously, it's going to be one of the most played cards, and loads of people are sleeping on it. It is Sightseer. Draw until you've got 5 cards in hand. But before you draw, you may discard as many cards from your hand as you like. Gets energy in the discard so you can grab it back using Naganadel. Sure, you can use Shuckle for this, but Shuckle takes up a bench space and you really don't want to use the bench space. Ergo, you really want to be using Sightseer. And everything else is pretty much as we would expect. You're playing a bunch of Psychic Pokemon, so you still play Ultra Ball, but you also play Mysterious Treasure, Both of them help you get your Pokemon, though Mysterious Treasure is only your Psychic. I mean, also Dragon, but you don't play any Dragon. While they both also discard cards from your hand, get the energy in the discard. We see Lily and Cynthia as our draw supporters of choice, because they're pretty much the best 2 draw supporters we've got at the moment. We see Guzma to drag Pokemon off the bench to KO them, just like in every deck. And we see Rescue Stretcher to recover your Pokemon, which you will sometimes need to do if they get KO'd. I am not sold on this deck. Suicune Quagsire Naganadel I think could be great. Blacephalon Naganadel I accept is one of the best decks, if not the best deck, in the post-Lost Thunder format. This one I'm not 100% on. It seems like it's slightly more awkward than the others, but it went and won a tournament in Japan, so maybe I'm wrong about that. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to hear from you. Do you think this is a viable deck, or do you think there are just better ways to go ahead and play Naganadel? Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, but please do remember the rule. Be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. And do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays for some more Wassy action, like my How to Play Keyforge video we just put up. That game looks fun. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves. Until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.